Hi guys, today is still the 2nd of January 2020 and it's 50 minutes past 5 in the morning over here in the UK now. And I just wanted to point out very quickly some other places where the 1 to January the 2nd and 3 o'clock reference is possibly pointed out. Here in the beginning, where I think we've got a Texas reference, there's 1, 2, see that as January the 2nd, and then you got the 3 for the dog's head. That's just one. Going a bit further in, obviously there's the emphasis on I Bet Goat 2, could be related to the 2nd of a particular month. Maybe that's January, as we're coming into it now. There was the reason I actually made this video was to talk about the alphabet chart in the background. Now you guys know that I've started counting it vertically instead of horizontally as I was doing before. So Z now becomes the 12th letter of the alphabet. However, 12th is obviously a combination of 1 and 2. So if that's meant to convey as January the 2nd, for example, then when you count on, the O becomes or is the 15th letter of the alphabet, which is the case anyway. So that could be another reference to 15, as in 1500 hours, 3 p.m, the time children leave school. Obviously in the previous video I just posted today, I talked about the connections to January the 2nd from the missile slash penis, and also from the apple in the scene as it rolls on. Let's just let it open. So just down here with the X, the 111 line through 5. Not sure if I did too many ones there, but X and 5 anyway. And that's 15. It's attached to the tsunami wave, where we've also got 0, 1 and 2 on these sides. I've given you guys the other interpretations for these, so I'm just obviously bringing out because today is January the 2nd, and that would be the most urgent date for these interpretations, seeing as it is today. As I say, there's the Hawaii, Italy, New York reference. If it is Hawaii, we've got the interpretation for the submarine, the torpedo, purposefully detonating the volcano, the earthquake, the Helena slump, the tsunami, California, the Pacific Ocean being pretty much a tsunami playground, hitting all the islands, hitting all the countries that surround the Pacific Ocean. Obviously that's the Ring of Fire, so other volcanoes could also be impacted along with Kilauea and Mauna Loa if it is Hawaii. Obviously if it's Italy, that's obviously closer to the Iran region. They've also got a submarine. They're having a lot of turmoil right now. There's obviously a reference and a connection to 3 and 1, or 1 and 3 with Iran. That could be January the 3rd, day after this, if anything does happen today. But then there's obviously the 13th, so on and so forth. Just going back a quick bit in relation to the 15, just a little bit more back, you've got that 1 and 5 just behind here, and there are 12 blue characters, which is again 1 and 2, which could be January the 2nd, and then you've got 15 behind the last character, and then you include the 13th character, that becomes 1 and 3. So that sequence of numbers 1 to 15 seems to connect. Obviously that could reference the 15th day in the 12th lunar month, which would be the 9th of January. However, I'm not too sure about that. We do have the rabbit or hare looking at the 9th character when you include the girl in the count up to this character. But putting that aside for now, we have January the 2nd potentially with the number 15, potentially for the time, the exit, the school setting. I've gone through that before. Even as you come outside of the classroom and we look at the famous Psalm 23, that could literally be a reference to the 2nd day and the time, so 2 and 3. I'm not getting the 1 reference there, but even going up to the clock, for example, we know that there is an indentation here at the 2 o'clock point. Difficult to see, you may be able to see it, but that obviously gives us a reference to 1 and 2, and again 2. Some of these images, that's actually 1, 2 and 2, so that would be January the 2nd at 2, so that doesn't quite connect with the interpretation for 1, 2 and 3. There is another part where it might though. I think I might have gone past it already. Anyway, let me just skip to the last point, because I can't remember. That one didn't quite actually, I know where it is now. There we are. It's in the Statue of Liberty scene. Again, we have that weird time reference of it looking like 3 o'clock, but obviously if this is 3 o'clock with the right angle to the screen, then this would be 2 o'clock. So 12, 1, 2, and then 2 again. Just something I'm putting out there, even if it doesn't connect with the 1, 2, 3 o'clock interpretation, there may be also a reference to 2. I mean, biblically, the hour description for destruction, you know, between 2 and 3, 23. We'll see. Well, hopefully we won't see, but that's something to watch out for. And in the last interpretation, obviously you guys know I've already talked about this one before, just 01 and 2, January the 2nd or January the 11th. Both of those keeping on watch, but we can see the tsunami wave, we can see the dragon involved in that. That's the biblical reference for the dragon spewing forth the water, the skyscrapers, a city of some description, obviously with the church and everything, and the tsunami wave. That gives me a connection to the Vatican and Italy, potentially Mount Etna, which is a volcano connected with fire, which would connect us with the dragon. And again, biblically, the Vatican is a symbol of, you know, Catholicism, so that would connect. But then obviously there is still New York, which is more skyscraper-like, and also London as well, which is also quite skyscraper-like. Big Ben, maybe the Leaning Tower of Pisa they reference in here, again for an Italian reference. A more triangular shaped one, maybe the Eiffel Tower for France, maybe Big Ben. So Europe, keeping an eye out. You guys, that's pretty much what I just wanted to bring to you. More connections through this video to January the 2nd, maybe a time reference of 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. If not January the 2nd, then obviously January the 11th. We'll keep an eye out as well. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.